Good morning, everybody. It's Mr. T back with another live coding session. So today we're continuing a little experiment that we've been doing, trying to see if we can code something here collaboratively along with other students. I'm joined by Gamer Davey, who was with us yesterday as well. Welcome, Davey. I don't see a whole lot of other people on the stream, so I'm not sure whether this is a successful experiment at all, but let's keep going here. I'm just trying to show you a little bit about the process of how a sophisticated piece of software is made. I'm going to walk you through my thought process as I'm building a game live here. This is a little bit like what we were doing last summer with the COVID Computer Club, where I'm just going to be building and hopefully other people will be able to pitch in and help. So if anyone is watching out there in TV land, please drop us a hello. And if you want to make some suggestions about how to go about coding this game or making it, then let's go ahead and do that. So today, my idea was I wanted to create a Pictionary game in Scratch. I'm a big fan of Pictionary as a party game, and I was starting to think, how can we adapt a game like this to the world of Scratch? And one of the ideas that I hit on right away was I did a tutorial sometime about 6 months or so ago about it was actually one of my co-op students, about a way to capture your mouse movement by using list variables. Basically, to take the position that your mouse is at on the screen and store it as an XY coordinate every couple of, or a few times a second, so that your Scratch is basically keeping track of where your mouse is. Now, if you use that in conjunction with the pen tool, my thought is that I could actually draw something in real time, record it, and then play it back. And so what I'm going to do here today is design a system that kind of records how I'm drawing something using the pen tool and then plays it back. After that, we can take that data and set up some kind of a system where the where the Scratch picks a random drawing out of maybe 5 or 6 of them that I've done, flashes it on the screen and starts drawing it in real time just the way that I drew it, and gives players a chance to try and guess what it is that I'm drawing there. And the faster they guess it, the less time there will be on the timer. And so it'll assign a score based on how fast you guess what it is. And we might do like a multiple choice system or something along those lines, or you can try clicking on a button. I don't think it will work if we try and type in the information, because there's just too many chances for misspellings and stuff. So I might have a multiple choice thing going on the screen where I'm saying, is this a cow, a dog, or a coyote, or something like that, for example. If you click on the wrong one, the game ends, and if you click on the right one, it assigns you a point score. Anyhow, that's really complicated, but I think it's going to be a fun little system. And even if it doesn't, I think we're going to learn a lot about coding and list variables today. So bear with me. I am flying without a net here today, guys. I don't really have any code in front of me. I'm just going to be fiddling with this, and hopefully you guys can offer me some suggestions as we go along. So I see we have a few people now watching on YouTube. If you are interested in joining in and helping me out in coding this, we can start. Let's get over to the screen here. So I've got a project URL up at the top of the screen here, and that will get you into the version of the project that I'm running. Let me paste that into the chat here for you guys as well, if you just want to click on the link there. So this is going to open up a blank Scratch project for you. You can remix this project if you like, but if you don't want to do the actual coding, if you just want to fiddle around with it, what you can do is every couple of minutes just refresh your screen, and after I save, you'll be able to click on it and see what all the code that I've done so far. And so you'll be able to watch and contribute and not necessarily have to do all the coding. All I'm going to have to do is hit the save button every once in a while, and if you refresh your page, you'll be able to see all the coding that we're going to do. Let's give that a try right now. I'm going to put a green flag on my screen here.
Hey.
Hey there. I'm joined by Jaren. Hi, Jaren.
Yeah.
And Gamer Davey still here. Hi, Jaren. How are you today?
Good.
Good. So you're going to build this project along with us here, Jaren? I'm looking for your ideas. So you missed the introduction, I guess, did you, Jaren? But the idea is we're going to try and code a Pictionary game by recording my mouse
It sounds
movement.
pretty interesting.
Yeah, you've watched the intro already? Okay. So, as I said, I don't have a clear idea how I'm going to do this, so I'm really open to suggestions. If anyone wants to give
Okay,
me
so I know how to make like a recording.
a recording of what? Oh, I lost you there, Jaren. Oh,
Alright, I got kicked. I know how to make like a recording mouse input feature. Where you could
yeah,
record.
so that's what we're going to start with. So maybe you can walk me through how we can do this. So the basic
Sure, okay.
file that can you basically open up the say a blank file or the file you see up on the listed up here.
Yeah,
I've just got one
I
object.
have.
Yeah.
I have one.
Okay, good. So I've got a little cursor that I've drawn here, and that's the only object that's actually in the file right now. And I'm hoping that will kind of follow my mouse around, and then we'll want to draw basically by holding down the space key while we're coding here, and basically use the pen tool to draw as we're doing that. I think we should probably do like a push to talk or something
I think
here,
for
Jaren.
optimizing.
Sorry, go ahead, Jaren.
So I think for optimization, you should probably make it so it's space and you can hold down click, but then again, that might ruin some other stuff, so I don't know.
Yeah, well, let's just try it with space key for now, and if that creates too many problems, then we can try a different approach. The whole idea behind this live coding is we're going to try some different stuff. So I think for starters here, I really want at least for now, I want my cursor fall. So, Jaren, can you maybe set up push to talk? Because I'm getting a lot of feedback from your microphone here. So I'm happy to hear from you, but only when you're saying stuff. If your microphone's dead, I'm just getting a lot of feedback.
Oh.
So do you know how to set up push to talk? Or maybe you can...
Oh, no, wait, I know why. No, my computer's laggy. I'm gonna leave and rejoin. Hold on.
All right, so we got some quiet there. So, Jaren, you're welcome to talk, but there is some background noise in the room that you're in, and
Okay.
so I just want you to unmute when you have something to say, and then remute it again, and then we don't have to hear all that extraneous noise. Okay, buddy. So I'm going to start here by using a forever block, and I want my cursor to basically follow my mouse around. So the block I'm going to use for that is this go to random position block, and I can change that to say go to mouse pointer. And so that's obviously the very simplest part of the project here, but you can see that gluing this cursor to my mouse so that wherever I go, I'll be able to it'll be able to follow me around. And basically I'm going to start drawing from here and then recording the input, right? Okay. What did you want to say, Jaren?
I wanted to, so like, are you gonna make like a menu system, or are you just gonna make a straight up drawing first?
Well, I think we're going to start with the basic functionality, and then we'll add like interface elements and stuff to it right now as well. I think so. We're going to want to switch it back and forth between different modes. We're going to do a drawing mode, and then we're going to do a gameplay mode, right? Sometimes I've seen this stuff set up where you just pull the code loose. Like if I don't want to draw, I can just disconnect it. But I'd rather do an interface. But I think we can work on that a little bit later, probably.
Okay.
So let's call up, the next thing I want to do here is get my pen tool active. So I'm going to go to my extensions down on the bottom left of the screen here and load up my pen extension, which is going to give me all my pen drawing tools, right? We're going to want to basically have our screen. I'm going to set up a separate branch of the program here that deals with the drawing. I think that we want the go to mouse pointer to be working constantly, and we don't want it being interfered with by other things that might have that might be able to turn on and off. So I'm going to set up a separate green flag here, and inside there, I think I'm going to, well, the first thing I want to do is probably erase all my pen input. So when I click to start here, I definitely don't want any existing drawings here. And I'm going to want to make sure the pen is up by default. Now the pen.
I think I already got.
You got something?
Sorry, I think I already got the engine working.
You do, eh?
Drawing, yeah.
Okay. Can I maybe I can have a look at your code and we can try and duplicate something like what you've done.
So I'm going to share. Okay, yeah, so here's what we have, right?
Yeah, go ahead and show
so this is gonna have whenever you click the green flag.
Okay, wait a second for the audience to catch up with us here. I've got to.
Oh yes, right. Okay.
Yeah. So let me pop out my view here. How do I get this view over to... Oh, I just gotta do a pop out here. All right, so I have my my chat here popped out. All right, so this looks like it's actually working. If key space pressed, pen down, else pen up. Yeah, I get it. Okay, so let's give that a try then. I'm gonna go back over to my own version here.
I also have some scripts for customization where you could like change the thickness and the color.
Okay, so let's grab an if else here. We'll put it forever here. Well, I'm going to worry about those details later. I just want to get the basic functionality up and running here. And in Pictionary as well, Jaren, you have to understand that usually you just use a single marker, right? There's not colors and thicknesses and stuff there. I think we're going to keep this nice and simple so that it looks the same every time. So I'm going to go sensing. Oh, we're joined on stream here by funny animator Jim. Hi, Jim. Nice to see you again.
How
are you doing?
Good, good. So looking for some input here. We're experimenting with live coding today, and so I'm hoping you guys can help me work out this project as we're going along here. So it's going to be
this seems like it's going to be cool. So you want to like make it so you can draw something and then play it back.
Yeah, exactly. So we're going to be recording our XY coordinates of our cursor as we're drawing in a list variable is the idea. And then we can play it back and actually watch ourselves drawing it in real time. And the idea, I think, is going to be later on, we're going to try and guess at what's being drawn there. So we'll need a different list for each object that we've drawn. Jaren, you're... again, can you just mute it when you're not talking, buddy? Because there is a lot of feedback coming from
also, I had another script. This script sets the pen color to black if you copy that one.
Okay. Let me have a look at what you're doing here, Jaren. Hold it. Oh, there we are. Set pen color, set brightness. Yeah, though that's I think the pen's going to be black by default, right? So I'm not sure if we really need to worry about that. But I will. I don't even think we have to put that into a different stream here. So let's just go.
Oh, actually, usually it starts out blue. I tried it.
Okay.
It's blue.
So set pen color to 0. We'll do that right at the beginning. That's a good plan.
Yeah.
All right.
So you said you wanted the program to be able to guess what it is you're drawing. So like machine learning.
No. So the idea is when you play the game. You're not. So there's going to be two modes: a creator mode and a play mode. So the creator mode is going to be you're going to be able to draw stuff on the screen here, and the computer will record your mouse movements and save it to a list. Then someone else will be able to play your version of the game and guess what you're drawing as you're going along. Here is the idea, and so we'd have to set up a different mode for that. Okay, so let's try this program out right now. You can see that when I hold down the space key. Hold it. What pen color was it that I needed to get to black here? Because it looks like 0 is giving me red, eh? Jaren, what was the color for black? Let's go have a look at Jaren's screen here again. Where did oh, here it is. Oh, Jaren stopped programming. I mean, he stopped sharing his screen here. Okay. Okay, so I think let's try 100. I can just use the manual controls as well here, I guess. No, I'm just getting set pen.
Is there on the drop down menu? Can you select brightness?
Yeah, brightness. Of course, that would work, wouldn't it? Yeah. Set pen color. Brightness to 0, right? Actually, I don't even need the color then if I'm setting brightness to 0. Yeah, that'll give us black. Beautiful. And I think we'll just stick with the default thickness here as well. All right, that's good. So I've got a bit of code here. I'm going to save my file if anyone's watching at home and they just want to grab the code that we've done so far here. you'll just be able to refresh the file. Just open up the
Wait,
file.
do you hear me now?
Yeah, you're good now.
Do you hear me
Jared.
now?
Yeah.
Okay. So what I was trying to say was the brightness, it needs to be 0 because otherwise it turns black. But if the brightness isn't 0, it's going to be red.
Yeah, perfect. Okay, so this is working nicely. It's drawing every time I hold down the key. Now the next thing we're going to want to do is create a list variable. Jaron, can you mute again? I'm actually
making a warthog.
Yeah. Okay. There we go. All right, so let's go ahead and create a list variable. Now, normally when you're creating variables that contain X and Y coordinates, you would create a different list for your X's and a different coordinate for your Y. But I want to keep everything into one list here. So what I think I'm going to do is we'll do something that's comma delimited. So we're going to create a list where the X coordinate is an item on the list, followed by a comma, and then followed by the Y coordinate. And then we'll parse that, meaning we'll split it apart so that Scratch will be able to read the first part and detect the comma, and then figure out that the Y coordinate is right after that as well. So what I'm going to do here is let's create a list. I'm going to go to my list variables. I'm going to go make a list, and I'll call it drawing 1. We're going to have to, as I said, we're going to have to create a new list for every drawing, or I mean, we could put it all into one gigantic list, but I think the easier thing to do is to have each one be its own list variable here. Okay, so we've got a list now, and
you're going to be able to store different things in the lists too, right? If you parse, you have the X, Y, but also color and size if you want it.
I guess so, but the idea, Jim, is that in an ordinary Pictionary, like we could set a preference or something like a pull-down menu or something for preference, but generally speaking, when you're playing Pictionary, you only have one marker available, right? So it's not, you normally don't have access to different kind of colors. You're just simply drawing a drawing, right? So I just think sticking to black.
Okay.
Yeah, so we can set a preference where if you want your default color, but I don't think that we should be going back and forth changing colors and thicknesses and stuff like that, because that's not really true to the tradition of Pictionary, as I understand it anyway. Okay, so the data part, if we try and put it in here, I guess we could. So if key space is pressed, we need to write to that okay, let's try doing it right inside the main loop here. So if key space is pressed, we're going to add to the drawing, right? We're going to add an X coordinate and a Y coordinate. We're going to have to use join commands to do that because right now we're only adding one piece of data to the list. So so do you think we're going to be able to do this in real time, continuing to add, or should we add a delay so that it only adds like once every like 0.25 seconds or something? Jim, what do you
should we could do
this in real time. I'm currently putting up a script that's going to do that. It's slightly complicated, but
okay,
if the real time might be easier because you would just, have it going every frame. But if you did it having like a wait 0.1 seconds, then when you play it back, it wouldn't be as smooth. But if you did like a smoothing script for it to like glide to each new point, then it would be a little smoother,
right.
And you would still cut down on the amount of data that you would need.
Yeah, I think we're gonna go with that second approach. Jaron, did you have any thoughts on this at all?
Yeah, so I tried to use the join script and it didn't work well. So I think the best idea is just to make 2 separate lists for X and for Y.
No, I really do want to put it all into one script because each list is going to be a different drawing, and so if we have 2 different lists for each drawing, then I think we're going to run into a lot of confusion here.
No. What I was trying to have was like it basically just deletes the first of each one, and it puts the coordinates, like it writes down the coordinates of each one, deletes it, and then it glides there. And then keeps doing that script.
Yeah, we don't want to delete it because we're saving this data so that other people who are playing the game are going to be able to play it. All right, just wanted to pause for a second and say hi to some friends who've joined us on YouTube. So hi to Deviled Turbos. Hi to Malik Sukija. And hi to Pro Learner. Yes, I remember you, Pro Learner. I think you were on the stream yesterday, or you just joined briefly to say that you couldn't join me. But hi to all three of you. Let us know where you're from if you're interested in. I'm always just curious about where in the world people are calling from when they're part of our stream here. So please give us a little bit of information. I don't really want any personal information here, but just what city or what country you're from, and maybe how old you are, and that would be really helpful. Okay, guys, so I do think we're gonna, so let's set up a separate script here that when the space is clicked, we're gonna start adding data to, let me save my file again in case anyone's following at home here and wants to pick it up. So when green flag clicked, we're gonna have it basically, I think, let's put a forever loop, and then inside there we'll have it wait wait until key space is pressed, and so that'll just activate the script. I think this will work. Wait until key space is pressed, and then we add, and that'll turn itself off when my key is not pressed. I think if I add some data at this point. Do you guys think this is going to work? This kind of structure is going to work for adding the data to the list?
Maybe.
I would have just put it in the first script, because you could just have an if key. It's already there, the if key space press.
Yeah, the problem with that is, as I said, I thought we decided that we're going to delay it. We're going to add a delay between each.
But what I was going to do is use the timer block, because the timer is really accurate. I think it actually goes based off of MIT or something.
Okay.
And if you would have it, let's say round for something to get only every 0.1 seconds and then add it.
Okay, Jim.
Then that would be really smooth.
Can you walk me through that then, and I'll just do what you. I'll just use your method for now. So let's just.
Okay, so you get an if block, and you see the add thing to drawing one that you already have in the if key space. I'm just going based off of the YouTube live stream because I can't see.
Sure, no problem.
Your live stream. So in there, and then you put.
By the way, I should just be showing my screen. I'm actually going to start broadcasting my screen on Discord. I forgot to do that.
Okay.
So,
nice.
Yeah, and then you'll be able to see it live. Just a second here. I'm going to get my virtual camera running.
Okay, there, I can see it.
So you got it now.
Okay, so you put an if block around the add thing to drawing one that's in there already in the script.
Oh, put it. Oh, yeah.
Outside. Sorry, outside.
So you want an extra if statement in here, like
yeah,
this?
Right there.
Okay.
And then you do if timer. Okay, so you get the timer block first of all.
Yeah, there's my timer.
And then let's see. So you probably want the round block.
All right.
But we don't want to round the whole timer, because that's just going to make it round every single second, and that's too long. Okay. So we're going to make timer times 10.
Okay, so I think you lost me here. So we're
multiply by 10.
Timer times 10.
So, and then that way, if we round it, and then
so we're come up with a smoother number, right? Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So now if you just keep clicking that, and you'll see what kind of number it gives you.
So yeah, it's giving me
click it really fast.
Yeah.
And it's gonna. Okay, so now this, I think, if you put the equals block inside the if block.
Okay.
And then put the round timer. Well, actually, no. We want the mod block.
So see the mod. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I get it. So we're for those of you who haven't used the mod block before, it basically is like a repeating loop that. So if we put mod 10 here, for example, it'll just start counting from 0 to 10 and then back to 0 to 10 again. Basically, when it hits 10.
So I think we want 2 in there, because then it's going to keep switching between 1 and 2, or 0 and 1, I think, and then you put if equals 0.
Equals 0.
So now if we play it, see how often it is adding the thing to the list.
All right. So, okay, yeah. So let's go here. Oh, I have to hit the space key? All right, so it's adding the word thing to the list here. It looks like it's adding it like 4 or 5 times a second. What would you estimate? How fast do you think this is adding it to the list?
It's default 30 frames per second. So if we didn't do any delay, it would be adding 30 times a second. So this is going to do it every 2 frames, so it's going to add 15 times a second. But you can try making that 2 into a 4 or a 5 to see if it's actually
Yeah.
slowing it down.
Let's see if that's a 5 here. It seems to be going in bursts. It does like 3
Yeah,
at a
so
time.
that's adding every half second.
Okay. So twice a second, basically. Okay.
Yeah.
And so as
So
it's
you
coming
would
around
want
this
it to be the 2, so you get 5 times a second. So if you just made it a 1, then it would be the default.
Right, right. Okay, so I see how this is working. So it's going around this loop 30 times a second, but it's only adding the thing if the number equals 0, which only happens once every or twice a second, you're saying? Okay.
Yeah, so it's just checking the timer like every 0.1 seconds because we rounded it up multiplied by 10.
Right.
So then that's changing every 0.1 seconds, and then when we do the mod, we check to see if it's even or odd. So that means every two frames, it's adding it.
Interesting. So yeah, this is a much different approach to what I would have done. I probably would have tried to just put this into a separate part of the stream, just to avoid complexity here. But I see what you've done, and it's actually quite clever, Jim. Okay, so we got to clear out our list at the beginning here. I'm going to go back to my list variables and just delete.
I got a drawing system working flawlessly.
Really? Okay.
It does use 2 lists, but it works flawlessly and it's really smooth. Let me show you. So
yeah, again, Jim, Jaron, I get what you're doing there, but I think it's really important because we're gonna be trading drawings back and forth, and so if there's multiple lists for each drawing, then I think it's just gonna create a lot of confusion.
Okay, but yeah. If you want to see either way, you hold down space and you draw the drawing, and then once you run the draw copy script, it traces it.
Okay, just a second. I'm going to go back to your to your view here. Okay, there we go. So here's Jaren's view.
So right here, let's say we write the word sus, and then we want to draw the copy. You just run the script somehow, and then it draws it.
Beautiful, yeah. So I do think your script has to record the fact that you're not pressing the space key down. You see how everything's connected in your thing like an Etch-a-Sketch?
Yeah.
I think we're going to have to take that into account so that it stops drawing. Otherwise, everything's going to be connected in a straight line, which is going to be a little bit weird. Okay, so that's something that we should watch for as we're drawing this anyway. Okay, so I've just cleared it. Jaren, can you mute again, please, buddy?
Oh, sure.
I'm going to change this to a push-to-talk channel, I think, once I have some time to play with my Discord after this session, and that should solve that problem. Okay, so we're clearing out our drawing now when I click the green flag, and now let's start adding the actual XY data here. So what I'm going to do is add a couple of join commands here. Stop me if you think this is the wrong approach, but what I'm going to do here is do 2 join commands, and we'll put a comma in the middle. And then we're going to do X and Y coordinates in the left and the right spot there. So X position, or mouse X is what I'm looking for here, actually. So mouse X and mouse Y. All right, so now twice a second, I should be, storing my X, Y coordinates. Beautiful, with a comma in between. All right, now we also need the script to detect when my pen is up and when my pen is down, right? So when my pen is up, what do you guys think about this idea? Maybe add some other kind of text to the list here that the script can detect, like maybe like a hash or something along those lines.
Do you want it to in the moments that you're not drawing, play that also in real time? Like if I draw for 3 seconds, lift it up for 2 seconds, and then draw again.
No, not
Do you want
necessarily.
it
I
to?
just wanted to record the fact that the pen has been lifted, so that when it starts drawing the next part of the line, it will know to pick up the pen for a second and then start drawing a new segment, basically. So I think when our pen is up
Wait,
here,
wait. So you want it to pick up the pen for the exact amount of seconds that you
no,
lifted, or not? Okay.
no. So the idea is that I want to record the fact that the pen is up and then stop drawing, but not for any fixed amount of time. I just want the pen to move to its new XY location without drawing along the way. So
Oh, I see.
because I mean, you can see what happened on Jaren's screen there, that he got stuck with a situation where he was typing words and the words were linked together by ink, which we didn't actually want to have happen. Jaren, what did you want to say?
What?
Sorry, what were
That's
you
not
saying?
me. That wasn't me.
Oh, that was
somebody else.
Davey, eh? Sorry, Davey.
I thought of an idea that you could do. So when the pen isn't moving, once the pen stops drawing, then you could add to the list that says not drawing, so that when the replay comes to that, instead of gliding to the next thing, it goes directly to it.
Davey, I think you're probably onto something there, but I'm finding it really hard to hear you. I don't know if you have a really bad microphone there or whatever, but you're just cacking in and out. Can you try one more time?
Can you?
Yeah, speak directly.
So when you stop moving, then you add something to the list that says you're not moving.
Yeah.
So the replay notices that
that's exactly what I was.
Gliding the next location, it goes to it.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking. So when the pen is up, when we're in this else state, that's when I want to add something to the list, that a little bit of something that's going to let the script know that we've stopped drawing right now. So I'm going to actually do that right now, and I think we're going to, unless anyone has a better idea, I'm just going to go add, and I'll just do like a hash, like 3 stars here to the list. And so now when I click the green flag, let's start again. Whoa, hold it. I only wanted to do that once though, eh?
Yeah, so you could make it so around the add block, if not the latest item in the list equals star star star.
Okay, so if not. And how do I do the latest item in the list, right? It has to
I
be.
think you use item and then you put the length of the list inside there.
If
Yeah,
item
that'll get it's kind of funny, but that'll get the exact.
Okay, so if not item length of drawing 1 of drawing.
Because that's the length of it, right?
Yeah.
So if it's 195, then it'll find the 195, and then if that is not equal to the star star star.
So I need an equal sign there
Yeah.
as well. Okay.
Whoa.
No, am I doing it wrong?
Wait. You need to put the red stuff inside the equals.
Okay. Hold it.
Yeah, it was kind of.
And then.
Yeah. So if that's equal to the star, yeah, right. And star.
So it's only going to add if there's not already a star at the end of the list here. Okay.
Also, sorry to interject again, but I figured out how to make where if you take the pen off, it'll record that.
Okay.
It's a bit complicated.
Yeah. So we're already working on an idea here, Jaren. I'm interested in your thoughts here, but we're very close to something on our own end here that I'm going to try. I'm saving my file, by the way, in case anyone wants to reload it here. All right. So let's try. So it automatically adds the star at the beginning, then it adds some info, and then it added a star at the end. Perfect. So this is actually functioning exactly the way that we want it to. And then I'll start drawing again. It'll add some data and then punctuate it with a star. Okay, this is working beautifully. Is it possible that we write something and it draws on the project screen? Yeah. Sorry, so yeah, Pro Learner is a little behind what we're working on here. So yeah, the idea is we're going to be able to replay this and do the drawing again later. So I think our data input system is basically working now. Now we need to figure out a way to have it play back at this point, right? So who has an idea right now about how to get started with this? So how are we going to toggle back and forth between drawing mode and playback mode here? Maybe we should worry about the interface later. Like, let's just maybe take this data and we'll just disconnect the green flag for now, and we'll set up an interface later that will help us with it. So we have some data here now, and let's just work with this data set and see if we can get it playing back now, basically. So who has an idea about how we would go about getting this to play back now? Jaron, you had some thoughts, right? Oh, I'm hearing crickets. Hey, Abe's with us now too. Hi, Abe. Nice to see you again, buddy.
I don't have a mic.
Okay. Well, then how are you talking to me?
Oh, I think my laptop has a mic.
Apparently, because I'm hearing your voice. You're not psychically sending it to me, buddy. Okay. So, now I want to go through this list here and basically have my this cursor object, sprite1, follow and put the pen down. So I'm not going to worry about the star right now. I'm just going to basically get it when I click the green flag here to play back this data. So now we're going to, this is where it gets a little bit tricky. We're going to have to get it to read those commas in the list. I think the first thing we're going to have to do is save all of the data in the first line. So let's go and do a repeat the length of the list, right? So that we're going to do something that repeats itself for the entire. When will you make the video in which we can make our Scratch game mobile friendly? So we were talking to yesterday. Actually, so Ben is working on that right now, and he's going to have it on Saturday's live stream. So we're going to be running a little segment on that Saturday, Pro Learner. Okay, so we're going to go back to our list here, and we're going to have this run for the length of the list so that we're looping around here. Now, the first thing I want to do now is I think I'm going to take that first item in the list and turn it into a variable. So let's go ahead and create a global variable here that we're going to call active coordinate or something like along those lines. All right, so I want to take item 1 of that list. We're going to need a temp variable to do that too, eh? So let's just go make a new variable and we'll call it count.
Mr. T.
Yes, Abe?
What exactly are we doing?
All right, so Abe,
I don't.
yeah, so we are coding a Pictionary game. We're creating a system here where we can draw a shape in Scratch. And we've just finished doing that. That's what's on the left here, and now we're coding a system where it takes the data that we saved. Can you mute your mic, buddy? There's a lot of static coming from your thing. Okay, thanks. So we're taking the data that we created on this list and we're reading it back to make the computer draw what we're listing on, what we've just drawn. So we're getting the computer to basically repeat what we've drawn. We've saved a bunch of XY coordinates, and now we're going to send Scratch off to redraw what we just drew. And that way we're going to be able to show people an object as it's being drawn so that they can try and guess what we're drawing here. And that's the general idea. So when green flag clicks, we're going to, does that make sense? Oh, who's, oh, I still got a lot of static here, but I don't see anyone online, so I'm not sure what's going on here. Whoa, I'm going to try disconnecting here and reconnect. So where's that static coming from? Because everyone appears to have their mic muted.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, that was you. Okay. Yeah, I do think I have to make this.
That was strange.
Yeah, I don't know what was going on. That was weird because everyone was muted. All right, so we're going to repeat the length of the drawing, and the first thing we're going to do is we're going to set count to 0. And then we're going to repeat the length of the items of data in there, and we're going to change that count by 1 each time. So now we're looking at the first item on the list, and we want to take the x coordinate out of that first item on the list, right? So first of all, so I don't know quite how we're going to handle the stars, but let's try and just ignore them.
You could do an if else that if it, you could do an if else that if it's star star, if the count of 1 is a star star star,
Right.
then you change then you change it by 1.
Yeah, that's a good idea, actually. Yeah.
After that.
Davey, I hear
Otherwise,
you.
just
Yeah.
lie to the next.
Wouldn't you just need to count up no matter if it's a star or not? Because if it's a star and you're
Yes,
then
we
you
do.
wouldn't count up.
Yeah, but we do need.
I would just do the star star star. You just have to do pen up.
Yes, so that still has to be in an if-else statement, though, right? So we need to do if it contains the star, then
Or if it just equals star star star.
yeah,
right?
if it equals a star, yeah, sure. So if okay, so let's so if that item, if item 1 of that list, so let's go item count of list is equal to.
Or you're going to use the active coordinates variable, like set the active coordinates variable to the item count first.
Yeah.
Or-
I think so. Or do we need that extra variable, or what do you think, Jim?
It might be nice to have. I mean, especially because like we're going to need to like deconstruct it
Yeah.
to do the parsing.
Yeah. So
Like
let's
the
go set
splitting.
active coordinate to item count of drawing 1, and that will save that into a variable, right? Okay. So now we have a variable that has a number and a comma and another number in it. So let's go. First of all, we do want to check and see if it's a star 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 here. So if active coordinate equals star star star, we're going to do something, and then otherwise we're going to do something else. Okay, and that so if it's true, we're going to want to do our pen up at that point, right? Pen up, and then can we just go on to the next? Yeah, that's all we have to do, and then it'll just ignore the rest of that line, and then otherwise we'll go pen down. And we have to set our x and y coordinates here. So we want it to go to. Now here's where we have to parse it, right? Do we need to turn it into a different, to the x and the y coordinate into different variables, or can we just parse it all inside the x, y here? I think we can probably.
Yeah, I think you should make 2 variables called something x, something y, and then have a repeat loop, like saying repeat until something blah 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 equals comma. Keep joining the stuff to the x variable,
Yeah.
and then join to the y variable.
So we'll just call this active x. Apologies to Microsoft. And we'll create another variable called active y. All right. So we're gonna have to extract, basically start adding to that active x. So let's go set, or hold it. So here's where it's a little tricky, eh? So we need to get a count going here.
Yeah, you're gonna need like
For
2
the
more
the-
count variables or
Yeah.
something. At least 1.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the part we can probably deduce the y coordinate once we get the x coordinate without necessary. Oh, I'm not sure. This is getting a little bit tricky, but I'm sure we can work our way through this. So we'll call this variable what? Count.
Count 2, maybe.
Count 2. All right. Okay, so we've got a count 2 variable right now. So we set count 2 in the else statement here. I'm going to save my file in case anyone's trying to catch up with us here. Set count 2 to 0. And we're going to need another little loop inside here that continues for the length of the variable, right? So set count 2 to to active coordinate. I'm kind of flying without a net here, so if anything.
No, I thought the count 2 was just supposed to be the counting that would go through the repeat loop.
Yeah. Sorry. So that just needs to go to 0, right? Yeah. Sorry, I just got a little confused there. So we need to go into a repeat loop here that repeats the length of. So we set active coordinate. So active coordinate is basically the first item on the list here, right? So the length.
So that's what you need to take the length of.
Yeah. Okay. So there isn't a length of for variables.
There is in the operators in the green.
Oh, in the operators. Okay. Yeah. I remember now. Length of apple. Okay, fair enough. So repeat length of active coordinate. There we go. All right. And now we need to start adding. So we're going to do a join here, right? So let's go set active coordinate to join. And,
active x, right?
Yeah.
Oh, and you should set the active x to a blank at the beginning.
Yeah. So
like you can do that. You can set it to blank, and that way it'll keep stringing on and stuff.
Yeah. So set active x to blank. Then we'll repeat the length of our active coordinate. So if in most cases it's going to be like 7 or whatever. Set active x to join.
Join the already whatever active x is. So like if it's a blank, then it's going to take the blank first, and then join. And then if it join to active x, the variable.
Yeah, Davey. Let's give Davey a chance to talk here. Davey, how do you think we should code this?
So you do. So it would be you'd add it, change count 2 by 1.
Okay.
Point to active x too.
Oh darn it! I'm having such a hard time hearing you, Davey. Can anyone else suss out what he's saying here?
Can you hear me now?
I can.
Okay, I hear you like every other word, Davey. It's just your microphone's kind of scratchy and full of distortion. Okay, try one more time, Davey, and we'll see if anyone can understand. Can everyone listen carefully?
So add change count 2 by 1.
Change what by 1?
Count 2. I think. It's supposed to be that count 2 is used to check what you're on in the.
All right. So
you said change count 2 by 1.
Change count 2 by 1 inside the repeat loop here. Are you agreeing with that?
Inside the repeat loop.
Change count 2 by 1. So we're setting count to 0, and inside here we're changing it by 1. So we're looking at the first thing. So
then it would be set active x to join active x.
To set active x to join
active x.
Yeah, join letter. So it's going to be this letter.
Yeah, joiner.
Yeah, Davey, I'm just not getting it here. If you
He said, I think he did say, he said join active x to join to active x, and then in the second one you put the letter count 2 of active coordinates, I think.
Yeah.
So you put the
Yeah.
active x, yeah, because that's going to be joining everything to, it's going to be building up to whatever it had
Yeah.
before.
So it's going to be letter something of.
So the letter to count, because that's what you're going up
Yeah.
through, right?
Letter count
And
2
then, yeah, of the active coordinates.
of active coordinate. There we go. So, I'd like to just try this out. I'm just going to put some dummy data in here right now. So I'm just going to delete my list. And we're just going to do it once here. So I'm just going to manually add something to my list here. So let's just go 100, 200 or something along those lines. Okay, so let's run this code here and see what the output looks like now. So we'll just go run the code. And so we're looking for active X now to be. Okay, so we need it to stop. So right now ActiveX it's doing what we told it to. It's basically written all that data, but we need it to stop when it hits a comma, right?
You could do repeat till.
Yeah.
Replace the repeat with a repeat till letter count 2 of active coordinate equals comma.
Yeah. So repeat until. Oh, that's not it. That's a repeat.
Right.
That's the wrong one.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Replace the repeat with the repeat until.
Yeah, repeat until. And
You would replace the repeat length of active word.
Repeat until
Or no, yeah, you would put it inside. Like the change.
Sorry, Davey, I'm not understanding. Yeah, I'm having a hard time. So, Davey, I think the problem is really your microphone is really poor quality. I would suggest that you invest in a better quality microphone, or if you have an extra one around the house that you can connect, that would be really great. Because I think you've got some great ideas here, and I'd really love to see them here, but I'm just finding it really hard to understand you. Yeah, Davey, can you just type into the Ask Mr. T channel here with your suggestion right now, and I think that might be a little more effective right now, just because we're having such a hard time hearing you. Okay, so we want to repeat until we get a comma, right? In the active X, is that right? So what would we go? Active X equals comma.
Until the count equals comma, I think.
Until
the letter count 2 of.
Okay, but hold it. Yeah. No, that's there's never going to be a comma in there.
The letter count 2 of the active.
Oh, letter count 2. Yeah, okay. So letter count 2 of active X.
Active coordinates, I thought, right? Because the active X doesn't have it.
Yeah, man, too many variables here, eh?
Yeah.
So I've inadvertently done something quite complicated here by trying to parse this, but I do think it's worth doing. So we're going to go letter count 2 of active coordinates equals comma. All right, let's try running that now and see if our active X ends up being 100. Whoa! Okay.
Whoa, what?
Yeah, okay. So that's not what we expected. All right, so let's have a look at this and try and figure this out. So
you need to put the change count 2 by 1 into your until.
Change count 2 by 1.
Put it into the repeat until.
Into the repeat until? Really?
Yeah.
Okay, let's try that out. And we'll know it works if we get a 100 here under active X. A 100 and a comma. Okay, so
yeah,
what if you do if you just make letter count 2 plus 1?
Yeah, letter count 2.
Just in the comma section.
Yeah, in the comma. Okay. Yeah,
Right here,
letter
it's
count
just the count 2 plus 1.
plus
So
1.
it's like looking ahead.
Yeah. Equals comma. Okay, so let's click the green flag, and there we got 100. Perfect. Yeah, good work, Jim. Okay, so we have
That was
successful.
Davey. I didn't think putting the count 2 inside the repeat until would work, but that's really awesome.
Davey, good on you, buddy. I'm actually really impressed. That's actually really cool. Okay, so I'm going to save my file now in case anyone else wants to pull that out. Wow. Okay, so we've successfully created our active X variable. Now we need to do something similar with our active Y, right? So, okay, so repeat it. So basically, I think after this repeat until, we basically need everything to the right of the comma now, right? So how would we go about coding that? Anyone have any brilliant ideas? So we're trying to set the variable active Y now. So
I think you could just duplicate everything you have for the X section, like that entire repeat, and then just take instead of a comma, you just do a blank.
Yeah.
Or if that doesn't work, then we do if count 2 is greater than the length.
Okay, hold on. So let's just try this right now. We'll just try your idea. So we'll do active Y, set active Y to join active Y. We're going to have to blank out that Y as well at the beginning, eh? So, so let's go set active Y right at the beginning here. We'll set active Y to blank. Set active Y to join active Y letter count 2 of active coordinate. I wonder if this is just going to work the way it is right now. I just really want to just try this out. So where's my active Y variable? Right here. And so if this works, it'll be 200. Oh, it's comma 200. So do I need to go?
Oh, I think all you have to do is just change count 2 by 1 in between.
Change count
in between the 2 repeat untils.
Oh, really? Okay.
Because then that'll just get it off of that comma.
Yeah, change count 2 by 1. Okay, let's try that again. Beautiful.
Nice.
Okay, so now we have some useful information here that we can just draw on the screen, right? So, okay, so have we already put our pen down here? So I think all we have to do now is just tell our object to go to that location, right? So it has to be inside the else statement. So inside the inner object right here. Just I'm not 100% sure I'm putting this in the right place, but let's add a go to command. What? Why is this not moving? There we go. Right here. Is that the place to put it? Active
One more down, I think.
One more down.
Like use your mouse to see, like on the after the repeat, the regular repeat. Like move your mouse down the edge of it to see if it's lining up right.
Yeah. So, so we're.
And I think you should put the pen down at the end, so it's not like going pen down and then going to the thing and dragging and stuff.
Okay, so we'll do pen down here. So
after the go to.
After the go to, yeah.
Wait, you put it in the wrong place again, I think.
All right, yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna go to first, and then pen down, and then that should go there.
Yes, that should work.
Okay, good. All right. So the only way to real way to test this out is let's reconnect the script here at the beginning. I'm going to disconnect this part right now. We're going to do something a little more complicated later on to make this work. But let me just click the green flag. I'm going to hide a bunch of stuff here.
Also, one more thing I think you should do is just round the mouse X and mouse Y before you add them to the list, just so you don't get a bunch of decimals.
Okay.
But like when you're in the first script, in the drawing script.
Yeah. Oh, round it? Okay.
Yeah, around the mouse X and the mouse Y.
Okay.
Like just in case, because sometimes you get decimals.
So
It
just
can be annoying.
join or
Yeah,
yeah, just like that, eh?
just in case.
Okay. Because do XY coordinate that like that actually have decimals in them?
I think if you click the mouse Y bubble, like just click it,
Mm-hmm.
then sometimes it can show decimals. Like I don't really know like how it decides if you want to put them in the list or not, but sometimes it does happen, and then that'll take a long time for the thing to like sort through all the decimals.
Okay, so I've just gone ahead and drawn a really lousy looking house here in true Pictionary style. So I believe that my data has been saved properly. Let's have a look at our list here. Yeah, there's my data. So let's just so let's stop here. We'll hide the list again. And now it's the moment of truth. So let's clear our drawing. We'll just go erase all. All right, now let's click the green flag here and see what happens. Oh, I don't want this going to mouse pointer. That's part of the problem here. And nothing happens. Let me save the file here.
Try clicking the green flag again.
Yeah.
Because it was.
So I believe my list is still full of data here, but it's not reading it. Okay.
What did the active X and active Y say?
Sure, let's call those up. Yeah, so the data
and
is
then
correct.
and
is
then
that
click the green flag.
And then click the green flag. Yeah. So it's reading. Let me just have a look at that list and see where those numbers occur. Are they at the end of the list? Or at the beginning of the list? Probably at the end, eh? Or before the 103 minus 118. Actually, that's the first item on the list here. So it's not proceeding down the list here.
What's going on? Repeat length. Change count by one. Wait, did we use the wrong count variable somewhere?
Probably.
Change count by one active coordinates.
Okay. We're actually done our hour here today. So what I think we should probably do, unless we can really quickly solve this, is just retire and see if we can solve this offline and pick up the stream again. I don't know. I was planning to do this live coding just Monday through Wednesday, but I don't know. Are you guys interested in joining me tomorrow for another hour of this, or? It feels like we got some good.
Yeah.
You'd be here.
I'm just. Yeah, I think I can, but I'm just trying to look at the code, see if I can fix it, like real quick.
Yeah, sure. If you can, I would love to stop right now with a working bit of code. But if we are, I don't want to get hung up on this if we're on the wrong track.
Repeating length of active coordinates.
This is the part that doesn't
Down before go to active X, active Y.
Oh, something. Look, so if you put a sound like the meow and like put it in the different repeat blocks and see which ones it's getting stuck in.
Yeah. Okay. I've done that as a troubleshooting technique before. That's pretty handy. So so it's getting stuck somewhere, eh?
It is for me.
Yeah.
Like if the yellow is just.
Try changing the go to XY to a Y 0.1 seconds to it.
Did any of you get that?
Do something.
Yeah, Davey, we're just not understanding you. You've had some really good ideas here, and I want to take your advice, but I'm just finding it hard to understand you. Can you try typing instead?
Oh wow, look at my count2 variable, like just show count2, and I'm getting a crazy number like 15,000.
Really? Okay. Well, that would make sense.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, that's a little better now,
Hear
Davey.
me? All right, try changing the go to x y by 2 8.1 seconds.
It's just I'm hearing every other word, Davey. That's the problem. Let's have a look at this again. Oh, yeah, that count2 variable, and it's not resetting itself when I stop the game and then restart it again. It just continues with a ridiculously high number. Okay, so the problem is in that count2 variable, right?
Yeah, and I think it's in that first repeat until, like, if you put the pop sound in there, then you're just gonna get a lot of pops.
Yeah, just eternal pops here. So set count2 to 0. It's repeating until letter count2 plus 1 of active coordinate. Have we initialized that active coordinate variable? Yeah, we're setting it to,
at the beginning.
Yeah, we're setting it to item count of drawing 1.
Yeah.
Try taking the repeat until for the setting active y to get a repeat 4.
I almost got that. Can you try one
It's
more time?
possible.
Yeah.
Try changing the repeat until around setting active y to being just a repeat 4.
Repeat. Okay, so try changing the repeat until around the active y. I heard that part. So this one here, the repeat.
Turn and make it just a repeat 4.
Oh, because it's always going to be 4. Well, what if it's no? Oh yeah. So I
Like just to test it out, maybe.
Yeah.
Swinging.
Possible that it's
Yeah. Let's try this out. I hear what you're saying there, Davey. Repeat 4 times. All right, no, that count2 variable is still going up like crazy there. So my initial idea for this kind of thing was basically that we keep coding until we get stuck on something, and then we kind of unstuck ourselves online so that we don't. This is the part of coding that's often a little messy, where we have to stare at this until our foreheads start bleeding, until we figure out what's going on here. So what I would like to do is basically shut off the stream at this point and pick it up again tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. And by then, one of us will have figured out a solution to this problem, and then I will go over it in detail at the beginning of tomorrow's stream. We'll talk about what ended up happening, where we got stuck, and how we fixed it, and then kind of move on from there. So we are very, very close to having our thing actually drawing right now, but I do think that we've just got something wacky happening with this one count2 variable that needs to be fixed here. So if anyone else is watching and has some suggestions, then go ahead and just drop me an email at, let me find my email thingamabobber here. Where's my email? Here we are. So drop me an email at info@chromeworks.ca. And Pro Learner's asking, do I have a website? Yes, I do have a website. It's chromeworks.ca. You can get all the links for my various projects there. And the website's a bit of a work in progress, so I'm not going to promise that that it has everything you're looking for, but you can find my coordinates and what we're working on right now, and our previous projects are all listed there as well. Okay, guys, so I'm gonna shut off the stream for now. We're gonna start again tomorrow, Thursday at 10 a.m. And by then, I'm hoping we'll have a solution to this problem. I'm going to have Jeffrey, my son, have a look at this as well, and he'll probably be able to come up with a solution for it. So yes, the next stream is tomorrow, Thursday at 10 a.m. Eastern. We're going to just do another hour of this and continue working on this project then. So looking forward to it, guys. And again, drop me an email if you have a solution to this, or just share your own version of the file, and we will find a solution to this. So I don't want to see a totally different approach. I want you to basically modify the existing code here. So if you can find a solution that works with this, drop me an email and just share the finished version of the file and explain to me what you did to fix it. And we'll give you a shout out on the stream tomorrow if you can solve it. Thanks for joining me, everybody. So we'll see you again tomorrow at 10 a.m. and we'll try this all again. I enjoyed this. Thanks a lot for your help, Jim and Davey and Abe and everyone else who joined us on YouTube. I had a lot of fun, and I'm looking forward to